The storm came without warning. One moment, the Wyoming plain stretched quiet and golden under a late afternoon sun. The next, the sky was a bruised wall of gray, rolling in fast and mean. John Mallory had seen storms before, but not like this one. The wind carried something sharp in it, a sound almost human, like a low wail coming off the hills. He was shutting the barn doors when he saw her. She came out of the rain, a small, hunched figure wrapped in an old coat that hung off her like wet rags. Her hair was plastered to her face, and she held something, a burlap sack, tied with rough rope, pressed tight against her chest. John called over the thunder. "You lost." Her eyes lifted. They were wide, pale, and so full of fear it made him take a step back. "Please," she said, her voice trembling. "Please, let me stay. Just for the night." He hesitated. There wasn't much room in the ranch house, and he wasn't the kind of man who took in strangers. But something in her tone, it wasn't just fear of the storm. It was fear of something else. He nodded. "All right, you can stay till it passes. But you best put that sack down. It's dripping all over." At that, she shook her head violently. "No, I can't. Please, don't ask me to." John frowned. "You carrying food in there or something?" Her lips quivered. "No food. Just something that can't be let out." He chuckled dryly. "What, a raccoon?" No, her voice dropped to a whisper. "Not an animal. Not anymore." The wind howled louder, rattling the barn walls. John sighed. "Fine. You can keep it with you, but you'll freeze if you stand out here." He led her inside the house, got a fire going, and offered her a blanket. She sat by the flames, holding that sack tight to her lap like it was a child. "What's your name?" he asked finally. "Clara," she murmured. "Well, Clara," he said, pouring her a cup of coffee. "You don't look like the type to wander out here. Where you from?" She didn't answer. She just stared into the flames, rocking slightly, whispering under her breath. John caught fragments. "Stay asleep. Stay quiet. Please don't wake." A chill crept over him. "You okay?" She blinked up at him. "I'm fine. Just, please don't touch the sack. No matter what happens tonight." He tried to laugh it off, but it stuck in his throat. "You've got nothing to worry about, miss. I don't go poking into other folks' business." She looked relieved, but as the night dragged on, strange things began to happen. First, the fire dimmed without reason, though there was still plenty of wood. Then, the house seemed to breathe, slow, deep groans through the beams. And then the sound started, a scratching from inside the sack, soft at first, then faster, harder, like nails on burlap. Clara's head snapped up. Her eyes went wide. "No, not yet. Not yet." John stood. "What the hell's in there?" She clutched the sack to her chest. "It's sleeping. Please, don't wake it." He stepped closer, his temper flaring. "Lady, you brought something dangerous into my home. I've got a right to know what it is." She backed away, tears streaming down her face. "You don't understand. I can't take it off. If I do, it'll come for you too." John's patience snapped. "That's enough." He reached out, grabbing the top of the sack. "Please," she screamed. "Don't take it off." But the scratching turned into a muffled scream, high and awful, like something trapped inside was desperate to breathe. John froze. Clara was sobbing now, clutching his arm. The sound grew louder. Then the sack moved. Something inside pushed hard against the fabric, making it bulge and pulse. He stumbled back, heart pounding. Jesus Christ! The lamp flickered out. The room fell dark except for the faint glow of the coals. Clara began whispering prayers, rapid and frantic. "It's hungry. Oh God, it's hungry again." John reached for his rifle, but the sack went still. The silence that followed was worse than the noise. "Clara," he whispered, "what's in that bag?" Her voice came out hollow. "Something I once loved. Something I tried to save." The wind screamed through the window cracks. John swallowed hard. He had a bad feeling, the kind that twisted in his gut and told him he'd already gone too far. He didn't sleep that night. Neither did Clara. The scratching didn't return, but something else did, a smell. Rut, wet earth, and the faint sweetness of decay. When morning came, the storm was gone, but the dread in the house stayed. The door hung open, swinging on its hinges. Her footprints led out into the mud and stopped halfway across the yard. No sign of struggle, no sign of her. But the sack was still there. It sat by the fireplace where she'd been, tied neatly at the top with coarse rope, just as before. The smell was stronger now, thick, almost syrupy. John crouched beside it, nose wrinkling. God Almighty! He wanted to throw it out. Burn it, maybe. But something, maybe pride, maybe curiosity, kept him there. She's gone, he muttered to himself. And whatever this is, I ain't letting it fester in my house. He grabbed the sack. It was heavier than before, and warm. He froze. The rope twitched under his hand, almost like it breathed. His throat went dry. "Clara," he said quietly, glancing toward the door. "If you're still out there, I'm opening this damn thing." No answer. Only the wind. His hand shook as he pulled the rope loose. The knot came undone too easily, as if it wanted to be opened. He peeled the burlap back. For a moment, all he saw was darkness. Then something slick caught the light, pale and glistening, like flesh without skin. Then it moved. A wet, rasping breath escaped from inside. A small hand, a child's hand, reached out, clutching the air. John stumbled back, knocking over a chair. What the? The thing rose, uncoiling from the sack like it had been packed too tight. Its limbs were wrong, too long, too thin. The head lolled to one side, hair matted to its face. It whispered, "Pa!" John froze. No one had called him that in years. Not since the accident. Not since his wife and little boy drowned when the river flooded 5 summers ago. He took a trembling step forward. "Billy!" The thing twitched. Its head snapped upright. Beneath the hair, 2 eyes gleamed, cloudy, gray, but familiar. "Pa!" It croaked again. John's chest seized. No, it can't be. The creature reached out. Its fingers left streaks of black rot on the floorboards. Clara's voice echoed in his memory. "Something I once loved. Something I tried to save." "Oh, God," John whispered. "You were trying to keep it contained." The creature took another step. "Why'd you leave me, Pa?" Its voice was laid, a child's, but beneath it, something deeper, something ancient. John backed toward the wall. "You're not my boy." "Then why do I remember?" it hissed. The air grew cold. Frost began creeping up the windows. The fire went out with a hiss. He grabbed a rifle, aiming it with shaking hands. "Stay back." It smiled, a wide, jagged grin that split its face too far. "You already took me off," it whispered. "Now you'll see." The lights went out. The sound that followed was worse than screaming. Wet tearing, snapping wood, his voice shouting once before it was cut short. When the neighbors found the house 3 days later, it was empty. No sign of John. Just his rifle on the floor, and the sack sitting neatly in the center of the room, tied shut again. Inside, the air was warm, and something small was breathing.